Video response coming at you right here. We got 5 questions with 5 answers each, as posted by Ander Wood, WWAD. And let's bring a little resolution to this confrontation here. So 5 countries. Name 5 countries other than your own that you would like to live in. Canada, anywhere in the UK, probably preferably England, Switzerland, Australia, New Zealand. Name 5 RPG books. If you could only have 5, which 5 would you keep? Well, bam! Star Wars D6, revised and expanded core book. This one's a no-brainer for me. The best time I've ever had in gaming. Warhammer, 2nd edition fantasy roleplay core book. Awesome game. Absolutely would not want to live without it. And to support that game, my 3rd book would have to be the Old World Bestiary, to give lots of nasty critters and stuff to throw at my players. This one's one I haven't talked about before, but I am quite taken with it. It's the Angel role-playing game core book. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail about it here because I may do a separate review of it, but basically why am I picking this? Not because, Angel was an okay show, Buffy was an okay show, but really this is a great toolkit for any kind of modern day sort of supernatural type of game that you want to get going. There's basically monster creation systems in here with, where you can tack on all kinds of powers and advantages and stuff and basically create your own custom monsters, aliens, ghosts, and all that kind of stuff. It's a really, really cool game. A nice toolkit for modern gaming. Very simple system, too. And then finally, Call of Cthulhu BRP edition, whether it be 5th or 6th edition, doesn't really particularly matter to me. But good solid gaming material right here. Lots of potential hours of fun. Alright, 5 things that you may not know about me. Well, I was born in Alaska and actually raised in Hawaii. So I spent about the first 7 years of my life in Alaska, and then I lived in Hawaii until I was about 18, at which point I then moved to Texas, and that's where I am now, for better or worse. For a year, during the time that I was living in Hawaii, our family was kind of falling on hard times, and there was actually a year period where we lived in a house that had no electricity. We had to use a gas generator to power all of our electronics. So that meant come 9 o'clock, when it was bedtime for my parents, the generator went off. No more television, no more radio, no more video games, no more lights. Growing up, between kindergarten and 12th grade, I attended 7 different public schools, just because we kind of moved around a lot, both because, when we moved from Alaska to Hawaii, but also in Hawaii itself, we moved around to different sides of the Big Island, which is where I lived. And then I spent a year in Phoenix with my grandparents, and just other various changes in life have led me to 7 schools. I have never broken a bone or had any other major operation. The most serious procedure or operation I've ever had was the extraction of my wisdom teeth. And I first played video games at the age of 4. My parents bought me a used ColecoVision from, I believe it was actually bought from my babysitter. She had a ColecoVision that she didn't want anymore. My parents asked if, saw that I apparently showed some interest in it, asked if they could have it or if they could buy it. And that was the start of many years of electronic gaming. On a related note, I ended up becoming a big Nintendo nerd. I've owned almost every Nintendo system that has ever existed, with the exceptions of the really bad ones. And my favorite video gaming system of all time is the Super Nintendo. 5 favorite names, or 5 names that you like. I like the names Malcolm, not sure why, Ben, Clark. I really like the name Clark. In fact, I like the name Clark so much that my son's middle name is Clark. My father's name, Joel, and my wife's name, Tenica, which is very unique, and apparently I think it's Dutch in origin. And is spelled in no way the way it's pronounced, which is always amusing to watch people try and read her name and then pronounce it back, or even when she tells them her name to have them remember how to correctly pronounce it. So most often she just simply goes by TK. And then finally, count 'em, 5 YouTubers that you would like to meet. Now this one is hard. I can't tell you how hard this was when I was basically going down my list of subscriptions. And so just because if I don't mention your name here, it doesn't mean that I don't want to meet you or that you're not a really super cool guy, because there are literally there's probably about 20 people in the YouTube community that I really would like to meet. So I'm just going to kind of go off the top of my head, the first few people that kind of came to mind, and the people that probably have been posting the most videos recently and been kind of like in my general consciousness. And that would be Mr. Samwise, 7RPG, Tim, my brother from another mother. We just seem to kind of click on several levels. He really reminds me of a bit of myself and a bit of one of my best friends from high school, and so we just seem like we would get along really well, have lots of fun. Mr. Tower Guard DM, Win, just a fantastic, intelligent, kind of open-minded, really enthusiastic guy. I just love the enthusiasm he has for the hobby, and you know, it seems like he would be a real great guy just to kind of sit down on a Saturday afternoon with a beer in hand and just kind of, you know, shoot the breeze and just talk about all kinds of crazy stuff. And I think we could just have a good time. In fact, with all these folks on YouTube, I'm sure sitting down with a cool drink in an afternoon would just be a real load of fun. The Gentleman Gamer, the Earl of RPGs, Clack Click Bang, very, very upstanding guy, very intelligent guy, a guy who just really seems to you know, again, just be really not only enthusiastic about what he does, but he seems to be very deliberately precise in the way he approaches gaming and the way that he likes to get his ideas across. Just a very polite, upstanding gentleman of a gamer, and I think we'd get along real well. I think it would just be a lot of fun to have some back and forth with him. And Rob, the main man, Pepper, bland humanoid, formerly Desartis, just a real cool, down to earth, you know, take things as they come kind of a person. And I think I've felt like, you know, there's been a real good rapport between us. Really enjoy the conversations we have. Really enjoy just kind of the random ideas that get tossed around on his channel, and that he's just a real open-minded and seems like open-hearted guy. So yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun to hook up with Mr. Rob. And then finally, Lester, the Strolling Bones. This guy reminds me in a lot of ways like my brother, and I think that's why I kind of connect with him, and that there's that kind of deep-seated artistic nature, that desire to see things beyond their face value, and to kind of appreciate a deeper meaning behind things, and basically just enjoy life and enjoy being who you are and being you know, in the surroundings that you're in as much as possible. And so again, just real good rapport with Lester, and I think that it would definitely be an honor to meet you, man. So, like I said, if I didn't mention your name, that doesn't mean that I don't like you. There are just too many people, you know, like Tetsubo and Azurk and you know, Bolt Orange, and just all these folks on YouTube. Like I said, about 20 other people that I could probably list off that I would love to meet. But anyway, that's my time. Thanks for listening, and talk to you soon.